children's message, a little one this morning. And last week we talked about David and Goliath, and the week before, I believe, we talked a little bit about Daniel. And I just wanted to talk again a little bit about Daniel this morning, because we shared about Daniel in the lion's den, if you recall, a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to have a very short scripture that Jennifer will read this morning that has to do with Daniel. And that's a book in the Bible we don't talk about too much. It's stuck there in the middle of all the prophets. And we know some of those prophets. Who are they? Prophets? Isaiah, Jeremiah, Amos, Zechariah. There's a whole bunch of them in there. There's about 15 or 16 of them. But Daniel's stuck right in the middle of that. We don't talk about it too much. We know the story of Daniel in the lion's den. This is also the book that has the story of the fiery furnace. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they get thrown into the furnace. That's part of the book of Daniel. But Daniel's a visionary, a dreamer. Not only is he a very accomplished business person and helped manage the king's kingdom, but he's also a vision. He dreams dreams. And this makes him very important to the king, and the king appreciates that a lot. And the scripture we're going to share this morning is the very first time it's part of a big dream about 4 kingdoms. And in the middle of this, it talks about someone called the Son of Man. Who is the Son of Man? Pardon me? Son of Man. Jesus, right? It's the first time in all of Scripture we hear that term, Son of Man. And it applies to Jesus. And it's about someone who's going to come and rescue the kingdoms. But the vision Daniel has is a lot different than the one that the Israelites come to think of about the Son of Man. Jesus uses this term about himself as well. So as we share a little bit later, how many of you have visions? Ooh, why are you laughing? Right? If someone had a vision today, what would we think of them? I think Kurt's over here doing, oh, right? You need to see a psychiatrist or something, right? But this was common back then. And the scripture even tells us that young men will dream dreams and have visions. And it's something in our Christian environment that somehow we've lost a little bit of. But visions are not necessarily a bad thing. We dream dreams, right? What's a vision of the future look like?
Not very good.
Not very good. We've become too practical in our old age. We look out there, but that's one of the exciting things about being young, our little children, and as they transition into teenage years and stuff, to encourage them to dream, to encourage them to have visions, to encourage them to have hope for our future, so that they can be the impetus for good. And Jesus is very much in that vein. This is who Jesus is. He's the vision we all should seek so that our futures might be better. So as we teach our little ones, encourage them to have their dreams, encourage them to have their visions, because that is what will motivate them in the future. Amen? Amen.